Good morning, boys. Currently 9:30 in the morning. Decided to do this one a little early because I love you guys. Thursday night. I think we got Browns Broncos tonight. Browns are -2 favorites. Over under is 41.5. I kind of like the under on that game, but you might need to buy points because we got Case Keenum versus. I don't even know if Teddy Bridgewater's going to be in there. I think he's questionable. But that's going to be a shitty fucking Thursday night game. But other than that, Thursday night football, we're kicking off the week. So without further ado, let's get started with our power rankings. And we've got a new number 12. Hato. Again, tough week. I think you put up like 120 and Carl just spanked you. So, yeah, Carl put up 156. Wow. So, again, 120, like 120 would get it done in almost any other matchup, to be honest with you. So, nothing to really hang your head on. You're just getting like unlucky. Moral of the story, like all of this unluckiness has to translate into some luck towards the end of the season. So I think you'll start once Dalvin gets back. I think if you make a trade or two for a wide receiver, you might be able to start stacking some wins together. Because I mean, you're just getting unlucky. I'm sorry. Like, you're putting up more points than me and fucking losing. So we got Hato at 12. Going up to 11, we got Carl. He's got one on the board. Yes, sir. I mean, Derrick Henry, what can I say? We knew this once I made that trade. Like, Derrick Henry's the guy. Derrick Henry is the fucking guy. And he is a walking bucket. So Carl's going to ride Derrick Henry for the rest of the season. I mean, that's his guy. He's had him almost every year we've done fantasy. So when you take a look at your team, I mean, it's starting to shape out really nice. Like, you've got, Chris Carson on IR kind of sucks because that would really, really help your team out right now to stack some wins. But Jacoby Myers needs to start scoring touchdowns. That's the one thing I'm going to say is, like, AB's a monster. Tyler Lockett, I mean, with Russ out, is going to suck, but, like, he's still going to get targets. He'll still have those games. Mark Andrews looks like the real deal. I mean, A-Rod is A-Rod, but bench is all right. Bench is kind of shaky. I don't think there's anybody other than, obviously, Chris Carson and Damian Williams that you'd really start. So maybe somebody pops off or you find a gem on the waivers, but the starting lineup is solid. But when it comes to the guys in the top four, I'm not sure if it would get it done. So you'd really be hinging on Derrick Henry the whole time. And I don't think it's good to rely on one person for fantasy. But I guess if it's someone, it's going to be Derrick Henry. So Carl at 11. Moving up to 10, we've got Skylar. He stays in the same position as last week. Skylar, you pretty much got a guaranteed win last week. Like, I knew throwing that fucking garbage ass lineup wasn't really gonna do me any good. So it's really 2-4 is a good record right now. I mean, it's not bad. Like, easily could string yourself right back into this. But the running back situation is kind of shaky right now. But you've got a bevy of running backs right now. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have fucking 7 running backs. For what? For, like, trade some. Like, you could You could use a better tight end. You could use better wide receiver too. You could, I mean, no reason to have all those running backs. Not a bad thing to have, especially when the running back position is very scarce. But if you have the chance to upgrade your team as a whole, I feel like why not? That's just my personal input. Obviously, you do whatever the fuck you want. Your bench is way solid. Way solid. I mean, Dalton Schultz, I think, is the real deal. Michael Pittman's nice. Devonta Smith is like on or off of me. It just, I mean, obviously it matters like whatever Jalen Hurts does, he does. But when it comes to an overall roster, again, I think the same thing with Carl. Like with Kyler and AJ Brown, you got two guys that are gonna like, are gonna get points once they're like healthy, good to go. Nick Chubb is like scary for me because like Kareem Hunt is looking real nice and Nick Chubb doesn't catch passes, and that's just another thing Kareem Hunt can do. So you'll have to monitor like what that situation turns out to be, because I feel like the Browns think they're better when Kareem Hunt's on the field, but Nick Chubb's still a great rusher. He still gets his tutties, so we'll have to see. But overall roster, it's that's all like it's like whatever like I'm at a loss of words because I don't know how to like put my finger on what your roster is. I don't know, it's an amoeba. It just it could stay at 120 the entire year. Could literally stay at 120 the entire year for points scored, and you have to either make or break 120 as an opponent. Like, I feel like that is the roster I'm looking at right now. Not gonna fucking light it up, but not gonna shit the bed either, like just you'll be there. I think depending on bye weeks and shit, who you come up against, like you could run into a string of wins and be right there in the playoff hunt. So we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. And I'm starting to realize something as I'm rambling on. Everything I say about your team, and this goes out to everyone, everything I say about your team in a power ranking video, the opposite is going to happen this upcoming Sunday. So now, Skylar, you're going to score 160 points on Sunday. Sorry to whoever Skylar's playing. So we've got Skylar at 10. Moving up to number 9, we've got this week's biggest faller, TJ. And TJ for a couple reasons. Not that I think your roster's bad at all, because I gave you your due credit last week with the way you built your roster and how low key it was and the way that you built it. But I'm starting to question how healthy your team is going to be the rest of the season, because Kadarius Toney out, Kareem Hunt out, Christian McCaffrey out, and that man gets hurt so frequently. Carson Wentz is a ticking time bomb. Obviously, you're not starting him. I'm just saying, like, he's a ticking time bomb. He could get hurt this Sunday. Mike Williams, I think he was questionable. I think they took the questionable designation off his name, but he has a really bad injury history, so we could see something like that. And I'm not wishing it upon it. I'm just saying there's a very good possibility that this stuff could happen. So I have you at number 9 because you're 2-4, and this week is not looking really good. I'm not, like, knock on wood for me, because I need a fucking win badly, but this week is not looking like a hot lineup. I'm not even going to comment on the lineup because it's just tough. It's just, what it is. Like, if you somehow beat me, I gotta put myself last. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, this is going to be tough. And if you fall to 2-5, just to get to 500, that would be 3 games, which would mean there's 5 games left in the season. Which means you would have to go 5-0 the rest of the season to pretty much have a chance to get, like, into the playoffs. So, with that being said, it's not an impossible task, but we'll see. We'll see how far CMC can take you if you even have CMC by Sunday. So, TJ at 9. Moving up to number 8, we've got myself. I haven't moved anywhere. Last week was pretty much a given. I was gonna lose. I had literally nobody. My team's starting to get healthier, and my team's starting to show me that, like, maybe we have consistency. I was really banking on Michael Thomas coming back, and that kind of sucks because from everything I had read, from everything I had watched, everybody was saying week 7, that's the week after the bye week. Michael Thomas comes back, he's gonna be ready, and I guess he's not. He's just starting to practice with the team, so that sucks. But I mean, I'm okay with it. I've held on to him for this long. I can't really give up on him now. And I think Saquon's gonna be out this week, but I think he'll be back next week. So I really need a win. As I said, I really need a fucking win this week, because if I can get to 3-4, then have Saquon come back, have an actual chance against teams with their starting lineup, then we'll see what happens. And then Michael Thomas comes back, and then I got D-Hop, Ridley, and Michael Thomas, 2 wide receivers flex, with the choice of Goddard and Gronk on the side at tight end. So we'll see. I still like my lineup. I really hope Allen Robinson and Justin Fields can figure it the fuck out, because I need them to do something. There's no way you have Allen Robinson in a contract year after he put up whatever fucking numbers he put up last year, and you don't throw him the goddamn ball. So I don't get that, but I still love the guy. Still one of the best route runners in the league. I still trust him. It's only 6 weeks in. We've still got 11 weeks of football, 10 weeks of fantasy. So we'll see. But yeah, I've got myself at 8. Moving up to number 7, we've got Sean Ryan, up 2 spots from last week. He's sitting at 3-3 right now, and nothing more I can say about, like, what he's doing. Like, he's putting up 140 consistently. Beat Carson this week, narrow margin, but really, really, really good win. He put up 120 last week, and then 147 the week before. So, I mean, you're putting up good numbers. You're one of the, let me look at points for. I think you're right up there. You're in the top 7, so you're right in the middle for points for, like, smack dab in the middle. So you're making it up there, which is impressive. So, not really much to say about your team. It's really, really solid. Debo's awesome. I think Gesicki, whether it's Tua or Deshaun Watson, is going to be getting fed. Only thing I question is Odell, because I don't feel like that guy can stay on the field either, and he's already questionable after coming back, so I don't know. But I see you added Preston Williams, which is a sneaky move. Thielen's on a bye. Dolphins defense. If we trade Xavier Howard, you gotta get that out of there, because we're just going straight down. But other than that, yeah, like a really, really solid team. I think you're starting to show me that, like, you're kind of serious this year. You mean what you said. So I want to see you in the Yoffs, Shawnee boy. I want to see you in there. So we've got Sean at 7. Moving up to 6, we've got Carson. He's down a spot from last week. 3-3, not a bad record at all. Right in the thick of things. Just unlucky. I mean, usually when people score 130, you expect to be like right there. In terms of points scored, you're right behind Sean. You're at 8. So, I mean, your first couple wins, you ran into them like really easy, like 100-point scores. But I think your team's starting to shape up. It's starting to kind of be that Carson team that we all expect. Because Leonard Fournette, who expected that? That's awesome. You found a diamond in the rough, really. But Cordero Patterson, he looks to be, I mean, I shit on him the first 2 power ranking videos, but he looks to be really involved in that offense as both a runner and a receiver. So that's really, really valuable. Tyreek and Kelsey, great stack. You can't really get any better than that stack. Miles Sanders is interesting. You know how I feel about Miles Sanders. So we look at the bench, and the bench is awesome too, because Amari Cooper and Chase Claypool, those are guys that would probably start in most lineups. Gallup, and you got Russ coming back. So this could be a really, really sneaky lineup towards the end of the season once Russ comes back, and you got Fournette, Cordero, Tyreek, Amari, Travis, so like that'll be a team to watch. I got you at 6 now, but there's no reason within the next couple weeks you couldn't move yourself into the top 4, top 3. So Carson at 6. Moving up to number 5, we have Yorkie. And him and Sean are tied for this week's biggest riser. Both up 2 spots from previous. I don't know how you did it, Yorkie. You're 4-2. I mean, you're putting up really solid points like pretty much every week. You put up 146 this last week. You put up 156 against me. You put up 140 against Sean and lost. Put up 127 week 3. So you could have easily been 3-3 because of that game with Durs, but you're 4-2. You're putting up really good numbers now. We'll see what happens this week because you play Rubes, and both of your rosters are kind of looking not good, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. You really need David Montgomery to come back for your team to like really make a push into that top 3, like that top bracket. Because Dak is awesome. Najee's awesome. Deontay's awesome. Jamar Chase is awesome. We'll see if Kyle Pitts can keep up what he's doing. Godwin's like inconsistent, but when he's on with Brady, he's on. And I mean, you made that trade for Melvin Gordon, which I feel like is a good depth piece for running back, but we'll see. We'll see, and we'll see again with Jalen Waddle, whether it's Tua or Deshaun Watson. Like, he's good. I feel like he'll be good with either of them. So, yeah, Yoki at 5, moving into that top 5. Going up to 4, we've got Durs. Staying at 4 from last week. You're 3-3 right now, but it's tough because you put up a lot of points. You put up 130 this last week and lost. 164 the last, 124 the last, 126 the last, 136 week 1. You haven't been under 110 points any week. So, like, that's a good floor for a team. That's a really good floor for a team. You've just got just some question marks. Like Tyler Higbee, I thought he was going to be really good to start the season. Like, really good. Especially in that offense. But it's like 7 to 8 points with an occasional touchdown. Like, I don't know. That's just how I feel. I don't know. I mean, Cooper Kupp's still wide receiver 1. Scary Terry's bound to turn up because Ryan Fitzpatrick is coming back soon. I think he's coming back next week. T. Higgins. We'll see with that offense. I mean, T. Higgins is doing enough to support like a flex position, but I feel like with him, I mean, he put up 7 points last week, 10 the week before, but he hasn't really like popped off, and that's like, it's not a bad thing. He's not putting up bad numbers, but it's like, I feel like you want to get into that top 3 of these power rankings, and to get in that top 3, you need somebody at the flex that's gonna like pop off for you. That's how I feel. But Herbert, Eckler, awesome stack. I think Brandon Ayuk is a waste of a roster spot. Like, he's literally done nothing to prove that he can do anything for your team. But Joe Mixon's cool. How'd you get Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan's a dog. I don't understand why people are sleeping on Matt Ryan. That guy could sling it. He's going to be in the top 10 this year. Regardless. Durs at 4. We've got our top 3 now. A little bit of a shakeup, but we've got Ruben at 3. Staying at number 3. Rube, don't come from my fucking head, because you don't know what you're talking about when you start screaming at me when you're drunk. But your team is like 5-1, but something about your team just tells me it's not gonna fucking like do anything. I don't know. It's just, I hope that's like clickbait for you at the end of the season. You can use that against me, but Lamar, Aaron Jones, James Robinson, Diggs, J. Jeff. Awesome. Noah Fant. Probably a top 10 tight end. But here's where it gets tricky. Let's say any of those guys get injured. What do you do? Because your bench fucking sucks. Like, your bench is terrible. And you don't make trades with anyone. So it's like, if Aaron Jones got injured and you had to trot out James Robinson and then who else? Or Stephon Diggs got injured and you had to trot out J. Jeff, Rob Woods, 1-2, and then who at the flex? Like, that could put you in the middle of the pack of these rankings so easily. And that's how I feel about your team. But you've done really good up till now. You're 5-1. You put up 145 last week. A really good win against Durs because he put up 130. You put up 157 the week before. Another really good win against Carl. But there's weeks like against Jerry where you put up 86. Or there's weeks where week 1 you just squeeze by with 128. It's like, I don't know. That's how I feel about your team. It's not that you haven't done well right now, because you put up points, you've gotten your wins, you're 5-1, you're tops in the division, but it takes one injury and that shit could be fucking gone. And that's where that bench depth is so critical, and I don't know if you understand that. So I got Ruben at 3. I'm going up till number 2. Got Rude Jerry. And you had to expect this coming into the rankings, Rude. You put up 100 last week. This is what I was talking about. It's like, you wanted somebody to put up points, and when they put up points, alright, theoretically, had you played Hazelbean every week, that he put up 143, and you just put up every week whatever you put up, he would have been 1, 2, 3-3 against you. I'm just saying, you wanted somebody to put up points, he put up points. But that's not to say that people are going to put 140 up every week. Be careful what you wish for. But no, seriously, 5-1. Bishop Sycamore is looking like a real threat this year to repeat as champion. You've got your Mahomes-Kamara duo. I don't think that'll ever leave. We'll see how Keenan Allen does. I'm really interested because he hasn't really, like, popped off any game. He's put up double digits every single game, and that's because he gets hella targets. But he's got 1 touchdown, and he hasn't eclipsed 20 points in any of his games. So I think that's what would set your team over the top and put you back into that 1 spot, because DJ Moore is awesome. Brandon Cooks, especially when Tyrod comes back, will be electric. Tight end position is scary because who knows what Dawson Knox is going to do, especially coming off an injury, and especially if the Buffalo Bills trade for a tight end. We don't know. So we'll see what happens. But we got you at 2 this week because you lost to Hazelbean. And rightly so. We've got Hazelbean at number 1 this week. Lisa Ann Wilson. I don't really have anything to say about the roster. Just everything I've said in the past. Just really well built. We'll see if Javonte Williams can take that job, because you've been saying this for weeks now. Just wait till Javonte Williams gets that job, and we're waiting, because I think he was a good pick, but they just keep giving Melvin Gordon touches, so we'll see. But I mean, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, awesome. Zeke and D Swift is awesome. I think Rashad Bateman's sneaky. Zach Ertz now with Arizona, that could be a sneaky tight end pick. I mean, you got Kittle on IR or whatever, so you've got depth everywhere. You've got a really, really solid starting lineup, and you just got guys that get points. Like that's it. And you've got guys like Zeke and Devontae Adams that could easily go for 35 on any given night. Same with CD. We saw it last week. So I think I think you're gonna be there till the end. I think you'll be at least in the semifinals of the playoffs. Because I think you just have too good of a roster to not at least get you there. But then that gets into serious territory. And we'll see. We'll see. But I've got Hazel being at 1 this week. And with that being said, that concludes this week, week 7 power rankings. Let's look forward to a really nice week. Let's go bowling tonight. That's what I want to fucking do. Let's go bowling after the Thursday night game. But we'll see what Sunday brings, because there's a lot of buys, a lot of interesting lineups. So it'll be interesting how it shakes up. Peace.